I again talk on the beauty and the grandeur of the volcanoes. Volcanoes are at the back of mind of all geologists, but these days the volcanoes and also dinosaurs are a huge industry because of the huge awakening which has happened among our little ones. They're always buying books on volcanoes. They're always seeing the kids' programs on volcanoes, and also programs which are not meant for kids, the normal YouTube channel on the volcanoes. I have a request from a friend in Canada to speak this time not in Hindi but in English. So, of course, I'm speaking on the volcanoes for my YouTube channel, Earth Talks. Earth Talks is the word used by many, but fortunately, it was not used on the YouTube. So, my YouTube channel is called Earth Talks, and I had posted my chat on the volcanoes in Hindi a few days back. It went across to many countries, and I got a request from a friend who is a family from Canada that she wants to send it across, but since it's in Hindi, lots of them have English as their language, even at home, and they don't understand it. So why not chat in English? Fine. I've been teaching in English all my life, but these days I'm a earth activist, an outreach activist for earth sciences and environmental sciences in this country. So I switched over to my mother tongue, the language which my mother taught me to communicate, so that I reach across to as many as I could. So I request you all to put across these small messages on the beauty, grandeur, science, and disasters which may come from nature and which should be properly managed. These days, Etna in Italy is coming out with full force. The fireworks of nature are in display in great ferocity. As yet people don't know. There's a thin line between enjoyment from volcanoes and I won't say that. I don't want to scare. Geologists are often called scaremongers. When we talk about earthquake from Himalayas, when we talk of tsunami, or when we talk of landslide and other safety things, we are often called scaremongers, and we are told, please let us live in peace. We'll die when we have to, but question is not that we are trying to spoil the peace of the humanity. The humanity is doing a great job on this planet, but unfortunately, they are not conscious of the damage they are doing to the human race and the rest of the biodiversity. On 23rd, I have a lecture scheduled by Punjab University for faculty development program, and I speak on geoheritage and geodiversity. So because of that too, my mind is focused on also volcanoes. Volcanoes across the world are a huge attraction for tourists and obviously geologists. Etna it's not first time that Etna is active. Etna is active in with slightly more vigor than just enjoyment. I again remember, in fact I never thought that a volcano in Iceland can send across such a risky pollution into the air that flights became impossible for many weeks. And our Prime Minister was in America. He had to take a detour from South Africa and come to India. Lots of people were just packed up at the airport. They had no way to go, nowhere to go, because the flights were cancelled suddenly. So I read somewhere that if Etna goes out of control, in fact we have no control over volcanoes. We can control lots of things, but volcanoes, they do their own job. They don't brook any interference from man. So I would say that we in India, in fact, we envy Italy and Iceland that we don't have a good volcano. We have lots of fossil volcanic rocks. We have, in fact, the second biggest volcanic activity which happened and which caused the extinction of the dinosaurs in our Deccan volcanic plateau. We have a small barren island in the Andaman, but unfortunately we don't have an active volcano. But we are compensated by nature that we have a massive Himalayan mountain chain which we share with our neighbors. And unfortunately we have not yet learned to live. All the Himalayan ecology nations have not learned to live in peace and enjoy the beauty of the Himalayas. So coming back to the volcanoes, so about 50, 51, 52 active volcanoes are around. In fact, I had the pleasure of driving through a volcano in Australia which had last erupted 5,000 years back. So because it was 5,000, it was considered safe. Australia had a funny regulation that you can't take even a piece of rock from that national park, so-called national park. They have declared it a national park. We in India don't have such restrictions. So I was amazed and I asked my host that how is it that a geology professor who has come all the way from India to attend the International Paleontological Congress, going on excursion and not able to collect. He said, you take the excuse of easing yourself, go to a side. I'm not looking at you. Just pocket 1 or 2 or 3 volcanic rocks as per your appetite. So I brought some, virtually stole a volcanic rock from Australia and brought it to India. So friends, know about volcanoes. Go to aboutgeology.com and search volcanoes in nutshell. That's one way for your school kids, for yourself, and for the society at large. The easier way is go to YouTube. These days, volcano news is in plenty. Just have a look. You miss something in life if you don't get to know about volcanoes, if you don't see the volcanic grandeur in action. In fact, I have a dream. I have traveled across the world almost. I have a dream. I miss something. I have worked in Himalayan glaciers. We have done a drilling in the Himalayan Soker Lake. As a geologist at Geological Survey of India and Punjab University, I have done a lot of traveling in the Himalayas, which lots of people in the world don't get to do. But I have not seen an active volcano. So those in Europe who can see, please go to Italy, have a glimpse of Mount Etna, and enjoy. And take your kids along, take your parents along. These things keep on happening, but when these happen, we see only on television. The other place where possibly I can go more easy, because of my daughter in Boston, she has taken me places in USA, and the Cincinnati University colleagues also very kind to me in 2006-07. The two places where I must go are the Mount St. Helens volcano. It was active in 1980, in our lifetime. 2,500 kilometers the volcanic ash had traveled. That volcanic ash had ruined the lives of the poor dinosaurs, our great lords of the earth, which were thronging around on the planet for 155 million years. 155 million years. If you squeeze the earth history into 1 hour, man has come here only, the earliest ancestor of man came only 2 seconds back. We are perhaps at the fraction of those 2 seconds. Actually, not caring if we survive even a fraction of a second more. So, watch out. Volcanoes are doing enough. Solar activity reduces, increases, is doing enough to warm the planet. Let us not do what we can avoid doing. Needlessly, don't drive around. Needlessly, don't burn the leaves. Don't cut the trees. Plant more, but don't cut the trees. I saw a place in Czech Republic where the forest was not allowed to be cut. Even the decayed forest had to be left where it was. Let's leave our forests in peace. If we want to live in peace on this planet, enjoy the volcanoes, enjoy the forests, enjoy the beauty and grandeur of entire planet, know a bit about the processes which are happening on this planet, know a bit about the landscaping which Mother Nature is doing for us, travel a bit on the Deccan Volcanic Plateau, our Indian friends, and American friends also don't find it that easy to go to Hawaii. The friend who has asked me was earlier also living in Hawaii. Lucky girl. So, Italy, Mount St. Helens, Hawaii. These are my dreams. Other dream is Antarctica, not possible. These are possible, but also difficult. The one place where also we're talking about the possible eruption, but perhaps much later, that is the Yellowstone Park. So, this much about the volcanic excitements. See you again.